Hey guys, ever since its reveal last week, I've been itching for more information about the Surface Laptop Studio. I really didn't like the design of the original Surface Book, but the idea of a non-detachable 2-in-1 seemed much more appealing to me. Microsoft actually has a bunch of demo units on display right now in the Microsoft Experience Center in New York City, so I decided to go take a look and answer some of the questions that I had and share it with you all. Also, I'm not a professional YouTuber, I'm just a guy with an iPhone, so please don't roast my cinematography. The first question I had when I saw the reveal was just how chonky this laptop really is. It looks super thick in the press photos, but looking at the spec sheet, the thing is actually just 1/10 of an inch thicker than a 16-inch MacBook Pro. The reason it looks and feels thicker is because of this strange multi-layered design. In person, the base of the laptop is actually quite slim. You barely notice the weird pedestal cooling pad thingy, and it doesn't make your palms uncomfortably high. Surprisingly, it's the display that adds a lot of the thickness to it, even though all the components are at the bottom. Another thing I wanted to know was how the haptic trackpad compares to the Apple one. Apple has been using this for years in their MacBooks, but this is Microsoft's first try. The answer is that it works great. It feels maybe a tiny bit bouncier and with less of a kick than the MacBook trackpads, but overall it's still great to use. You can also adjust the feedback strength in the settings menu. But of course, the main event here is that tilting display. It looks really smooth in action in the promo videos, but in reality it actually requires quite a lot of control to unsnap the magnet and fold the display down, especially if you're trying to do it one-handed. Everyone's talking about how Microsoft is flexing its ability to design hinges, but actually I barely consider the pivot point a hinge. There's no resistance to it at all, and the display pretty much just teeters on the edge like a balancing act. In actual use, there are only about 3 ways to position the display though, all with magnets, so the lack of an actual hinge isn't really an issue. Oh, and you can use it like this too if you're some kind of weirdo. One thing I noticed about the display that was a bit disappointing to me is how it feels when you're scrolling through web pages or text. Even though it's 120 Hz, it looks a bit like the content is smearing in a way. This isn't as noticeable when you're using the touchscreen, but I expected something more fluid with 120 Hz. Overall, this is a really well-made laptop, but the design is still a little bit questionable to me. Kinda like the weirdness of the iPhone notch, I feel like Microsoft is gonna commit to the pedestal design and keep it around for at least a few generations before redesigning it. I think the Surface Laptop Studio is still a little bit too clunky and I wouldn't want to use it on a daily basis, but that's just personal taste. Thanks for watching the video. If you guys have any questions about the Surface Laptop Studio, leave it in the comment section below and I'll try to see if I can answer them. Peace!